Hey there, I'm SongRider, and if you've watched some of my recent Divinity 2 Original Sin videos, you've probably heard us screaming chicken tendies from the rooftops.
I think you need to play chicken.
So now, I want to teach you the chicken tendies combo, so you too can make chicken tendies all over Rebellion. Chicken tendies is a combination of the Chicken Claw polymorph spell and the Ruptured Tendons scoundrel skill. For veterans of Divinity 2, you'll probably already know how this works, but let's dive in for anyone who still is ready to learn it. To begin, let's look at the Chicken Claw skill. Chicken Claw is a fantastic move on its own already. This skill takes the target and turns them into a chicken for 2 turns. Once a chicken, the enemy will often, but not always, run away from any nearby threat. Sometimes the AI sort of breaks if too many targets are nearby or the pathway is not immediately obvious and will just stand there in a confused chicken stupor. Additionally, at some point, Larian updated the chickens running to only go a certain distance, most likely in response to the chicken tendy combo. But unlike the polymorph spell from D&D, damage to the chicken is dealt directly to the enemy health pool and can kill the target, which results in a bit of an awkward explosion back into their normal form. The chicken form is resisted by physical armor, so for the skill to go off, you must strip the enemy of physical armor. This is excellent for crowd control, locking down the enemy from using skills, and allowing you to pelt them with abilities while they can do nothing. You even get attacks of opportunity off as the chicken runs away from you if you have Opportunist, or you might get bonus damage as they run awkwardly through damaging ground effects. When they run through fire, we call it spicy chicken tendies. You can start with this skill or pick up the skill book from the Dr. Lest at Fort Joy. As it only needs 1 polymorph point, it's a very low investment ability, and I highly recommend it. The real zinger of the combo, however, comes from the Ruptured Tendons skill. This Scoundrel skill requires 2 points in Scoundrel, and the user must be wielding at least 1 dagger. You can first obtain the skill book from Hilde in Fort Joy at level 4. This skill works as a soft CC or an extremely high damage bleed. If you've gotten something to go charging through a spike growth spell in D&D, you'll probably have a general idea how this works. Essentially, every bit of movement causes them to bleed profusely from their tendons. As such, the target must either stay still or not move, effectively working as a cripple, or if they take large chunks of damage as they approach you. Even teleports do not provide relief from tendon ripping, which makes no sense in some cases, as it deals the amount of damage you would have taken by walking there, which can cause some rather hilarious explosions of blood, as you've seen in the video we did Monday. This skill is also resisted by physical armor, meaning for this strategy to work at its base, you must rip the enemy's physical armor off first. However, the combination can be quite hilarious. Due to the chicken form forcing the target to run, they will take the full max running distance of the chicken worth of damage, unless they end up just standing there dumbly.
Tendies.
Not only does this ruin that enemy's next turn, but does deal extreme amounts of damage, which does get larger as you level up and put more points into things.
Don't worry.
It's especially potent if you can get it off on a boss, and sometimes trivializing some of the more dangerous fights.
There it is.
Now, we can make this even better. If you've watched some of my Divinity videos, you will note that I'm getting the Ruptured Tendon skills through the enemy physical armor. This is due to the Torturer talent that my Scoundrel has. This allows a lot of the effects to go straight through armor resistances, including Ruptured Tendons. With this talent, it can be easier to line up a chicken tendy combo, as you can use the Ruptured Tendons, Adrenaline, and another 2 action point high skill damage to attempt to strip the enemy physical armor before applying a Chicken Claw. It also makes it easier to combo with another of your characters if you couldn't quite fully strip the Fizz armor and hit the combo, but another character has the Chicken Claw skill. Being able to apply Ruptured Tendons through armor can be helpful even without Chicken Claw, as the soft CC or damage burst can be quite nice on melee enemies. Now, it won't always be highly effective, as the AI sometimes chooses not to run around as a chicken, making the tendon rupture fairly pointless. However, when it works, it is a beautiful sight to behold. Really, the chicken tendies combo capitalizes on forced movement, and that movement's bleed that it gets off the ruptured tendons. Any other ability or skill that forces the target to move can also combo quite nicely with ruptured tendons, such as the Terrify condition. You can theoretically add haste to the tendon ripped character as well, though I personally prefer applying the haste to myself or an ally if I have a point to spend on it. Interested in more gameplay videos and guides? Make sure to subscribe or check out some of these other videos.